Shida ya watu siku hizi, everybody sijui mumeogopeshwa, sijui even you Ngina, naona rudi uingie hii majenzi, nyinyi ndio the story of the future. Fight for your rights bwana, sio kukakaa hapo mambo mali yenu ichukuliwe na nini, mumeitolea jasho. Msikubali, pambaneni, muhakikishe mumepata haki yenu. Mnasikia nyinyi? Sio kukaa hapo tu, kuna kitu inadumu. But everything is worth a fight for. If you don't fight for it, ikienda mtu asilie. Msimame mupiganie haki yenu. Na mko na hawa watoto wamebaki ambao wako tayari kupigania haki yao. Waungane pamoja nanyi. Can't just stand there and let people take your hard-earned sweat. Dunia iendi namna hiyo. Muwe watu ambao hawataogopa, wataishi kama my friend. Ameenda detention, si alitoka na akaendelea na maisha. Hata nyinyi teteeni haki ze. Sio kukaa tu munaogopa. Kuogopa sasa ni sisi tutulie sisi. Nyinyi ndio mko na nguvu ya kupambana na hiyo watu. But we are behind you. Muendelee namna hiyo.
Rest in peace, Muigai. And today at Muigai's funeral, we've had former President Uhuru Kenyatta get an opportunity to address the Kenyan masses. And he spoken directly to the Gen Zs. And it is a point where we've seen how rampant abduction has been across the nation, and people are speaking about it because of the critics that the Gen Zs are giving and the pressure they're giving to the government through social media, AI technology and everything. So we are asking a lot of questions, and one of the questions is that is it a coincidence that the people who we assumed were given by President Kenyatta to Ruto have been appointed today to different government positions, CS positions? So we are questioning ourselves, what is it that has happened? Is it that we assumed it wrongly or something else?
It's very interesting because you see these three guys have been sworn in today at a function led by the head of state himself. That is Lee Kinyanjui of Nakuru, Mutahi Kagwe of Nyeri, and William Kabogo of Kiambu. All of them have been sworn in as the cabinet secretaries, taking over from those who are maybe moved to other positions. And as they joined the cabinet, you know, immediately they were appointed to the cabinet. It was just a few weeks after William Ruto drove himself to Gatundu to meet the former president. And so people translated this as a way of maybe Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto working together. And so Uhuru's men were to join the government. That is how people perceived it. I still as well perceive it so. But then there are questions that we must ask ourselves, which again we have to. I don't really think if it's a coincidence. It happens that maybe Uhuru had these things in his mind. He had just not gotten a platform where he could share such statements with the young people. Or maybe every platform he has been to, the young people were few. And then you see today now there's a family function with his children, with the children who are his relatives, and other children who also came to join the mourners, and also the older generation. So in this place, you maybe find that one or two people are among the victims of abduction, maybe as parents or relatives of these people. And so maybe it's a concern, maybe he had heard of it before he came in, or it's a concern that has just been disturbing him, but has never gotten a good platform to share.
Sure.
And so in as much as, yes, the CSS he gave were sworn in today, but he used also the platform to talk to the people and tell the young people that it is your right. Of course, it's your right. You can protest and fight for your freedom. Even advising his children to join the Gen Zs in the fight for freedom. So I don't really want to see it as a coincidence. It is something that was coming. Maybe its time was just, it's just, the time just came today.
Okay.
And again, I want to also ask myself two things. If it is him who gave Ruto these gentlemen who are now joining the cabinet, and all those other people who are also appointed to other areas, then why is he speaking against the government. Because remember, Raila Odinga has always been perceived as a fighter of the people and someone who really stands with the people. But when he joined the government and had his people sworn in as the CSS, he has never talked so ill or maybe encouraged people to fight against this government. And even realized that he even supported Adani, something that was so open and people didn't want it, the masses. So I wonder how comes then Uhuru would do that and do that openly, because it's something that has been raising a lot of tension in burials, everywhere these politicians go. That thing normally raises tension. Okay. And so I'm reading that if at all he's the one who gave Ruto, this gentleman, now that he has also spoken and is kind of not agreeing with what Ruto is doing and has not called him on phone to tell him, don't do this, he's doing that in the public, something that would create tension and also speak volumes to the masses, also influencing how decisions are made thereafter, then I'm seeing a possibility of these people, if at all they were given to Ruto by Uhuru, I'm seeing a possibility of these CSS maybe taking orders directly from the former president and not the current president. Okay. And so we might see a serious division in this cabinet, or we might as well have very serious intelligence from the cabinet reaching the former president very early before even the current president can know, and maybe he can use that to do whatever he wants to do.
Okay. Yeah. This man says that msiogope ni kuna nyinyi. Is it like an incitement to the Gen Zs or to the youths of Kenya to get to the streets to fight and to continue criticizing the government? And what does this say or maybe speak about the stand of the former president? Where is he standing politically? Because it's like he's against the Kenya Kwanza government and the regime and what they're doing, so encouraging the masses to fight against them. So where is his stand? And again, we've seen something like the Mount Kenya officials who are in government, they're trying to distance themselves from the government. Maybe they're forming some coalition, or maybe there is something that is going on here that we really don't understand. Can you verify this information?
Two things here. Anyway, Uhuru Kenyatta never supported this government from the onset, even before it was put in place during the campaigns. He had his own candidate. And even after this government came and he gave over power to them, he still said, fine, I'm doing this because the law wants me to do so, but my president, my leader is still Raila Odinga. He did that. So maybe he was only convinced by Ruto, because remember, all insults and everything has been sent towards him for a long period of time since this government got to power, even telling people how the coffers have nothing, even telling the masses how Uhuru did what. And you even saw his garden in Ruiru attacked by goons during the protest, the 2023 finance bill, during those protests led by Raila and the Azimio team. You saw what happened in his shamba. And several animals were killed, slaughtered, others sold. And we saw even the forest cut down. And now that maybe he talked to Ruto, maybe Ruto tried convincing him. After all, there are people who have worked together and know each other's weaknesses. So maybe they agreed to maybe work together, or he accepted to help Ruto to stabilize the government and economy. And immediately he did that. The Gen Z took it serious, and he was also attacked. Ile salamu yetu ya kawaida ile ya Gen Z. He also received it.
And they were on the same boat.
They were on the same boat. In fact, people put him, Ruto and Raila on the same boat. And he was also told everything that a leader could be told if at all you are going against the will of your people. So maybe he read something from there. Again, he's someone who also has young people as his kids. So maybe he has also talked to them and heard, because with our generation, all of them, aside those whose maybe eyes and minds are close with power, are seeing exactly what people are seeing. And so it's possible that he has just decided to distance himself from maybe the sinking ship, as people would put it. And maybe he's also ready for the coalition or the party that is yet to come from the mountain, which is being championed by the former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua. So there are a lot of possibilities. Maybe he just wants to remain with his people, and remain a hero, or he has decided to just distant himself from the city.
Matiang'i or Gachagua?
Time will tell.
Okay. And people have been saying across social media that, maybe he was part of the persons who financed the Gen Z during the last year protest against the punitive finance bill, as they said. So how true is this? Is it that he's been in support of the Gen Z all this along, and he's part of the team which is alleged to said that maybe he financed them?
If it is true that Uhuru financed Gen Z, then he must be a very rich man. Because number one, what was there actually to be financed? Is it printing of the placards, or what was there to be financed? I don't think if I was carried from my house to go to town to protest, because nobody gave me money.
Some came on vehicles and Ubers and everything.
So if at all he financed these people, then he has a lot of money. But then,
yes, he has.
You see, to finance the whole country, because we had the government allege and claim that he was financing the Azimio protests. Then later, when we had the Gen Z protest, again Kenyatta was financing the Gen Z protests. From Kenyatta to Wanjigi, from Wanjigi to Ford Foundation, then which is which? Now that he has spoken against them, actually I don't think he's against the government. He's against the wrongdoings of the government. Because according to how he spoke, he is only intending to tell people that fight for what is rightfully yours. Don't allow what you got through your sweat to be taken away by others, irrespective of their status quo. You get me?
I get the point.
And therefore, I don't really think if it's a matter of financing. It's only that those who are pro-government and feel part of government, like the likes of Robert Alai, more so those who came from ODM, and also those who are in UDA and feel like it is their place, would automatically call him names because it's something we are used to. They started that earlier and only stopped when they see Ruto visit him and maybe perceived him to have given Ruto the CSS. And so it's normal. We expect that people to talk, politicians to talk, and of course he'll still be called a lot of names when he has that stand.
Okay.
Yeah.
How big is this man Uhuru Kenyatta, and what kind of influence does he have today in regards to the politics of Kenya? Let's hear from our audience, and myself is Owoth Kaboko and my co-host Olengo Kwach. Thank you and welcome again next time.